Yeah, so as you know, John, I'm very much a fan of biomechanics and holistic health, and so I'd been rehabbing my own issues for the past several years, and I'd gotten my stability and my alignment in really good shape. But I had a strategy of having to flatten my entire spine basically to maintain a good relationship, with the ears all the way through the ankles. And as much as I tried to correct that, my body just wasn't accepting the corrections. And so, as you know, the slave joint, so to speak, that caught the brunt of that was my C7T1. And after about a year and a half of doing all sorts of like Eldoa type stuff, Lewitt, all that stuff, it got better, but it just wasn't like when we do these correctives, we're used to a certain improvement rate, and this was obviously undeniably not on par with what I was used to seeing. And so I came across your posts and your content and the magical ligamentum nuca, and I was very intrigued because your passion for it told me that there was a lot of smoke there that needed to be investigated. And so upon my own little bit of investigation I did myself, I was like, why isn't this being paid attention to? It's very important. And so my situation was a very stable neck through toe, I thought, right? I mean,
You called it the log jam, right? Is that how
yeah,
you?
there's a log jam up here in C7. Yeah, C7T1 and C6, and of course everything above and below it was affected, but that was the problematic spot.
But
But
keep going
anyway,
with what you were just saying. You're starting to talk
yeah,
about your whole structure.
yeah, I was structurally sound, mobility was great, from neck to toe, but or from collarbone down, but there was just this loose, I would notice it in meditation, so I'd sit up like this. Next thing I found myself going, like this, and even to manually consciously correct it, it's just like bobblehead. You're like, okay, it's here, but it wants to do this. And
Right.
so following your wonderful content, looking into that ligamentum nuca, I was like, that's obviously a big part of my problem. So yeah, so that's why I reached out to you, and of course, you're just wonderful to chat with, so that made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed right away, just getting into the position, right, and maintaining the tension in the proper places and the proper angles, that this was obviously something my body was craving. I got an immediate just acceptance from the nervous system that yes, this is where we need to be. And consequently, also because I was so weak in that particular position, that there was a lot of, I think you remember, a lot of jittery and shaky with me, and it was like, holy crap, this is like when you do like 8 sets of 2 max deadlifts or squats, or and when you start getting into the last couple sets, you start feeling that, and I was like, holy Moses. But as I saw the progress very quickly, and that's why you got to put the homework in. You got to do the homework. You have to do this every day. And
Before, right?
doing that and being diligent, it was immediate. And the best way I can explain it is just meeting an old long lost relative you didn't know you had, but as soon as you met this relative, you knew it was family. And that's what I'm talking about, the nuka, right? It turns on and you're like, whoa. And when it does its job, when it kicks on and you fire, you feel everything just, the tension being there. And then all of a sudden in the sagittal plane or the twisting plane, there's not this click pop drag, right? It's just, oh, that's right where it needs to be. And I noticed that, yeah, within a week, I noticed that. To answer your question, yes, I hit the floor every day. And when I say hit the floor, sometimes it's, it's standing, right? This stuff. But anytime I'm doing anything on the ground, whether it be foam rolling mobilizations, anything like that, there's LN, because it's not just about gaining the traction and the extension. It's about activating. It's about waking that up, because just because you can gain a relationship with it doesn't mean that you're activating it, because we still have that pathology that was there, and we're not just going to fix that in 6-8 months. And so when hitting the floor for me is if I'm standing there and I feel that it's not quite engaged, doing some stuff with the eyes, doing anything, just wake it up, say, hey, knock on its door. And then from there, it's engaged in life. But yeah, I hit the floor every single day. And in the gym, I found doing a lot of like bend to extend patterns were really tough for me. Kettlebell swings, power cleans, heavy deadlifts. And that was because of that this crank. I know you hate to see me change the pitch like that, but
Now I know you can handle it.
I can only do it once. Yeah, if I can do it once. But you know, we've got this pitch in the lifting world where any bend pattern, we're told do this, right? And so, yeah, exactly. And so now I can do that stuff again because every movement in the gym is an LN exercise, right? Just like everything's an inner core exercise, right? Everything is a postural exercise. Everything you do, if you are in the right place mentally and you are paying attention to that stuff, it becomes that. So the LN is rounded that out, and consequently being able to change the shape of my spine all of a sudden happens now. So now I don't have this flat thoracic and flat lumbar. I actually have a couple different curves, and now I can do things like handstands and all these other things I couldn't do before. So it's really cool.